Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I actually filmed this video before, but because I'm very blind and my camera and my viewfinder are very far away from me, I didn't realize the whole video was out of focus, so I had to scrap that. But it's okay because since I've made that video, I've gotten a few more palettes out of this collection. So yes, today I'm going to be doing a palette collection video. I have two baskets for my palettes, which is bad already as is, and the first palette I guess I'm going to start with is my most recent purchase, I'm pretty sure, which is the Honey palette. It's actually the one I'm wearing on my eyes today. I actually really love this. I was telling my friend, I was like, yes, yellow is going to be the color for this summer, and it's so cute. I don't know what it is about yellow eyeshadow, but I just really love this. I'm kind of disappointed though because the color that I really wanted in here, which is Palooza over here, I don't know if it's going to focus, but it's a glitter shade, but I didn't realize it's not cosmetic grade glitter, so there's the risk of having it like get into your eyes and like it can just like cut your eye essentially, like a little bit. I'm like, I don't think it's like super harmful, but like it's still a little bit dangerous, and for me who's already like super blind as is, I don't enjoy that risk. Like I know that there's like eyeshadows that aren't cosmetic grade or like not eye safe, that's the word, but it's because the pigments are like really staining, but I don't mind that for that because you can at least take it off, but like cutting your eye, that's a different risk. So my next palette is the Sweet Talk palette. I never understood the hype around this. Like honestly, when Colourpop releases palettes, they kind of just like fly over my head because there's just so many, especially when like the color scheme is like so warm and neutral, and I'm not gonna say boring, but a little bit boring, and like clearly this has been done before. But my friend Jasmine hypes this up so much on her channel. You should go watch a video on this. It's just, she's very convincing, and like she even put this like in one of her favorites. And Colourpop was doing a sale on Kathleen Lights' favorite products, and this is one of them, so I just figured it was a time to get it. And like I really like this. It's just neutral and easy to use. Could I do this with any other of the millions of palettes I have? I'm pretty sure I could, but it's just fun and new and nice and blendable, and I love this so much. Okay, next I guess is the shortest, smallest palette I have, which is this little e.l.f. Mad for Mattes palette. It doesn't say which one it is, but it is this like little neutral thing. It was just a very hyped up palette, and it was cheap. I don't really touch this super much. I guess sometimes if I like desperately need a neutral, which I could again get, like a lot of these colors in my palettes are very dupeable, so yeah, I have a problem, but it's my favorite part of makeup, so I can't help it. Next is my Bretman Rock and Colourpop Wet palette. I got the wet one just because when I was like, well, first of all, I had to support Bretman Rock because he's from Hawaii, so like I just had to. But I was like, I can't be getting the whole collection, that seems unnecessary, and to me it's like, as nice as the lid palette was, I have so many warm tone colors everywhere, I couldn't justify it, and like I didn't, at the time of buying this, I didn't really have a lot of blue eyeshadows. I still don't have that many now. A fuzz just flew around and I thought it was a bug. But yeah, this is like one of the first blue palettes. This is the first blue palette I think that I've bought, and I don't know, I just really liked it. I thought it was really cute, and support local. Okay, next is this Master palette by Mario from Anastasia. I don't know what prompted me to buy this. I think I was just in the Sephora store, and I think I might have swatched this shade Marina, and I just like fell in love with it because like the pink shininess, I will fall for those colors every time. But I don't really use this palette. There was never a period where I was like, I bought it and I was using it all the time and then I moved on. I don't know. But I don't have the heart to get rid of it either because it's like I feel like I could make great looks out of it. But I haven't given it the chance to do it yet, so it's just a collector's item for now, I guess. Next is the Ace Beauty palette from, this is the brand that it's from. I think this is the Grandiose palette, yes. And it's this warm tone palette with the plastic still on there that I refuse to take off. It was really cute. I got this in a BoxyCharm. Ah! Okay, the plastic just fell. But I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I usually don't give into BoxyCharm just because it's like, yes, you get $100 worth of makeup, but it's only worth it if you use all $100 worth of makeup. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense when there's only one product that I like and the rest are kind of like, man, like it's just not worth the money to me. But this box specifically, like this palette was pretty. It came with like a brush set, it came with like eyelashes, like it was just a whole, like I wanted everything in that box, so that's why I have that palette. Next is the Urban Decay Moondust palette. I bought this on a super whim because I remember around that time my roommates and I got makeovers at Sephora, and one of my roommates, the girl doing her makeup, she put like this super like wet metallic looking eyeshadow, and it was like a Moondust eyeshadow, like the individual ones, not like this whole palette. and like I was like in love. I was like, oh my god, this is like when I was still like relatively new to makeup and I just, you know, didn't really know anything. And so when I saw that they came out with this palette, I was like, I have to buy this whole thing. I have used this maybe less than 10 times. I think you just really gotta work with the shadows. Like you know, it's not a brush friendly kind of palette. Like I'm sure the colors are pretty, but it's more work than it's worth, I guess. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll get rid of soon, but I think it's just like one of the first things I bought, so it's like my sentimental ass can't let go of it, so we'll see what happens with that in the future. Next is this Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. Again, name dropping her again, Jasmine bought this for me, which was really nice, and I actually also love this. This also is like super blendable and like great quality. I think this just gets like lost in the shuffle of like me buying new palettes and everything, but it is a good kind of go-to palette because there's like just really good like neutral shades to like blend out with, and it has like these like pinks and like warm colors that like I'm more like prone to use. So I do like this palette a lot. It's just like hard because I'm trying to rotate through all these palettes I have, and it's hard to like let everything have their fair use. Okay, next is this Tartelette Toasted palette. When the Toasted palette and the Naked Heat came out, I think was like at the peak of like this like warm eyeshadow palette craze, and I really wanted both, but I couldn't decide on which one. But I just like never ended up buying either one. But then recently, actually, this palette went on sale at Ulta for half off, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just get it. And wow, the glitter has exploded everywhere. That's something. It's I don't know if you can see that, but well, if you can't see it, there's glitter everywhere from this shade. Okay, now it's gone. That's cool. Okay, that's a little bit concerning to know that happened, but oh, okay, now there's eyeshadow all over my leg. Oh, okay, that's not good. Let's talk and clean. Basically though, yeah, I just bought that palette because it was on sale and there's nothing more to it. I haven't used it that much, clearly, because I opened it to shockingly find that color everywhere, so that's cool and fun. I didn't even make in the trash can. Next is the Dream Street palette. I love Kathleen Lights. I feel like I've said it before on this channel. I'm always going to support her, always love her. But so of course I had to like buy her first eyeshadow collab with Colourpop. It's very true to this trend going on. I mean, it's an older palette, but it still follows the trend of like being a relatively neutral palette with like pops of blue. I will say though, this color, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the color Water Bear. I hate this shadow. The rest of this palette is fine. I don't have major issues with it, but this shadow is like so difficult to work with. You need to have like patience and like you need to be very careful while using it, but I do not care for this color at all. The rest of the palette, it's fine. It's alright. Like, I like it. It's not my favorite, but like, it's an okay palette. And rightfully so, following that one, I have my Zodiac palette, also from Kathleen Lights. This one I was more excited for because A, there's a mirror, and B, unlike that one, this is more like fun pops of color in here, which I am more into because clearly I have more than enough neutral shadows and we're not even halfway through. But yeah, it's just like super fun. I love this. Supposedly this is supposed to be a sister palette to this, which is backwards. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I don't know. It was more justification for me to buy this when I didn't need it, but I also think it's a really pretty color scheme. It's more unique and different, so I do like that, so I don't totally regret buying it. This Aquarius color is really pretty, which makes me happy because I'm an Aquarius, but yeah. Next up is my Persona palette, and this I got for Christmas 2-3 years ago. I don't know if I can remember anymore, but I got this from my store manager from Charlotte Russe, Michelle. I miss her so much. I miss working at that store, but that's besides the point today. I remember it was just funny that she got this for me because I've never told her that I wanted this palette, but I do remember someone I watched talked about this palette and they're saying how it's meant to be catered towards people with brown eyes, so I like really wanted it, but then, you know, I just kind of got over it, forgot about it, and then that's why when I got this as a gift I was like, oh my god, that was that palette I wanted like years ago in makeup. So it was just like funny and like nice that she got this for me. I did a really cute look that you can see on my makeup Instagram at Masako Makeup. With this look, it was for my cousin's wedding. It was really cute, nice. I think the only thing I would change about this palette is I wish that the shimmers were a little bit more shimmery. They mostly got the job done. Like, I just sprayed with Fix Plus, but you know, there's a lot of eyeshadow formulas out there, especially metallic ones, that I've seen better, and I kind of wish that one had more impact, but overall it's a good palette. I don't have that many complaints. Okay, next is something I got because I'm convinced I need more color in my eyeshadows. Do I still need more? Maybe. I don't know. But I bought this because it was on sale and I'm convinced I need more colors, and it's the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. I haven't got to the chance to use this. I feel like if I'm doing a color specific look, I won't grab a whole ass rainbow palette unless I'm scarce on those colors. Like, I feel like I'll grab a palette dedicated to the color scheme that I need versus grabbing a whole rainbow palette, so I actually haven't given this the time that it deserves yet. I think I may have used some of this on my rainbow eye look. I don't even remember because I know I mostly use a James Charles palette. Spoiler for ahead, but yeah. Next is my Kylie Cosmetics bronze palette. I bought this because her website was having a sale where if you bought one of these like 9-pan palettes, I think this was before she even made those like bigger palettes, but if you bought a 9-pan palette, you got an eye brush set for free, and I always need more eye brushes. Like, that's the one thing. I don't need more highlighters, honestly, as much as I want lipsticks. I don't need lipsticks, or even clearly I don't need more eyeshadow palettes, but I think I always need eye brushes. So I decided to like just try one of these palettes out. I kind of wish I had gone for the burgundy one. Then again, I don't need it, but I also really didn't need an all bronze palette. I think this is, to me, like the Persona one. It's like fine. I don't really have much complaints with it. I think the shimmers are actually up to the same standard. I feel like these are like similar-ish. I mean, clearly the colors are like kind of different, but yeah, this is just a good, maybe if I need a neutral palette, then I'll use a kind of palette, but I also just don't really touch this one as much. This is my Disney designer palette. I love Disney so much, and obviously I had to buy this. I really wanted that PR kit, but I just missed it. Timing was not on my side. Maybe the financial gods are on my side and thought that was ridiculous, but I still managed to grab the whole collection, and I really love this palette. It's so boring. It's just like every other eyeshadow I have, but like, I love it. Could there be more mattes? Definitely, but I still love this. The Disney haze is over my head, and that's why I like love it more than I think I normally would. This color, Poison Apple, is so pretty. If I were swatching things today, I would swatch them, but I wore a long sleeve shirt to do this video, so that's my own fault. I don't know if I don't think it's in here, but I did buy a backup of that palette, which seems really extra and unnecessary, but that's how much I just like love Disney princesses that I had to. And speaking of Disney, of course I had to also pick up the Misunderstood palette. It was the makeup collecting Disney fanatic in me that bought this, because truthfully, which is really bad to say out loud, but I don't think I would have bought this otherwise. Like, there's nothing wrong with the color scheme. I think it's like that fun color scheme I've been talking about that I need, but there's so many mattes in here. I mean, not mattes. I wish there was mattes. There's so many shimmers in here. Like, there's only so much I can do with 4 shimmer shades and one of them being white. Oh no, 5 and one of them being white. But still, like, it's not a lot. I've grown out of the phase where I just only want shimmers and I only need one matte color. Like, I've just matured in like my makeup doing this. And I don't need a million shimmer colors to one matte. It's just not my style anymore. It's not my preference, and so it's the only reason that I don't love this palette. The mattes are pretty. I don't know, it's just hard because yeah, I don't dig all these shimmers. They're nice shimmers, but I just wish that for a palette I had more mattes. I don't know what made them feel like they have to do so many shimmers, but I don't know, whatever, that's the decision. Next is this palette, the Huda, I hate saying this, the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I remember I was so freaking excited for this palette to come out. Mostly for this shade Twilight. I still love this shade. Like, it is the prettiest shade ever. Like, there was a time, I'm pretty sure I brought this palette with me to London. That's how much I love this palette. Like, my favorite color schemes for eyes and like eyeshadow palettes are purples, and this is like my, okay, I don't really use this anymore, but I think this is still one of my favorites. This is one of like my, I'm gonna say top 5, we'll say top 5. It's just so pretty. I love it so much. Like, it has the neutrals I need, but it also has, well, I guess there's only one purple color, but it's just really nice and pretty, and the shimmers are beautiful, and there's a lot of mattes, and it's just like a lot for me to work with. I love this palette so much. Also, before I forget to mention it, the mirror on this is so good. That's why I keep this creepy cover on it, because I want to try to protect the mirror as much as possible because it's so clear and so good for like especially traveling. Next is the second blue palette to have graced my beauty collection, and it's the Zodiac Aquarius palette. $5 to guess why I bought this one. I think if Aquarius had been kind of boring like the Taurus palettes or something where it was like all browns and stuff, I wouldn't have gotten it, but because it was blue and blue is my favorite color and I don't have a lot of blues and blah blah blah, I justified getting it. I love this color because it's a light blue shimmer color, which is like my favorite color, light blue. And I think that this kind of gives the blues that the wet palette doesn't have. Like, the wet palette's kind of more on the darker side, I think, whereas this like kind of gives me like the lighter blues that I want. So So I love that. Next, it is my Juvia's Place. I think it's Douce palette. I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't want to butcher it, but I also don't know. It's just weird spelling. I really love this palette. I think this is also top 5. It's just very my color scheme. Like even the fact that like the border inside and like the detailing is light pink, it's just very my aesthetic. So I'm very like, I'm sorry, but I really love this palette. Next is the only other palette I have from that brand, and it's the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. It's a very rainbow palette. I kind of haven't touched as much as I thought I would. I kind of got it because, again, it's rainbow and I thought maybe I'd use it, but I don't really use it that much. I will say, though, this rose gold color, like, it has my heart. I love it so dearly, so much. I like that the colors in here are bold and they're not, like, muted or boring, and it's like they come off bold. I just, again, if I do colored looks, I will grab a palette that's more catered towards that one specific color rather than a whole like palette with all the colors in it. So I haven't really given this one as much like love and attention as some of my other palettes. Alright, second half of palettes. Now this is my longer palettes. I guess it didn't fit in the shorter box. This a glance, holy crap, it's so heavy is what it looks like. Holy shit, it should not be that heavy. Okay, we'll start with this one I got pushed to the side. Modern Renaissance. Special place in my heart, can't get rid of this. I bought this for one day because I was having a bad day at work. I just was not having a good time at work. I was really mad, I was really pissed off, and I just went to the mall to like cool down and I think also look for a new job. But that's a whole different kind of story. This was right before all the hype got insane over this palette. But I knew they were coming out with it, but I just wasn't, you know, it wasn't like, oh my god, I had to have this palette. But I remember looking at it, swatching it, and those freaking smart people at Sephora, they were like, oh yeah, there's only like one left. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna get it because I deserve it. And I got it, and then the next thing I knew, it was out of stock everywhere. Like, I got so hyped up all of a sudden, and then it became out of stock, and clearly it's old if you look at how nasty the felt packaging is, but that just means it's well loved, kind of. It's just, I mean, you guys know what Modern Renaissance looks like. It's a classic, it's a cult favorite. I haven't really dove into this until a while, but I was using this a lot for a long time. You can clearly see how much I love my gold shimmers, if you can see how there's a dent in Primavera. I love this. This is, maybe it's top 5, but if it is, it's only there for sentimental reasons. No, that's not true. It's a good palette. Top 10 at least. There we go. This is here for sentimental reasons and not so much the, I mean, well, I think the quality is fine, but it's just not like a whoa, amazing palette. But it's my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette. I don't know when I bought this, but I've had this for what feels like forever. Probably before the Modern Renaissance. But I don't know if it's before or after I really started getting into makeup. It's this one. I don't know what made me buy this instead of the chocolate bar palette, but I just got this. And this was my everyday palette for a long time before my palette obsession started getting out of control. I haven't used this in a while, but I don't know, like, it's just, this is just a very sentimental palette to me because this is one of the first that I've ever had, and I just remember using it all the time. That's why it's kind of like battered. If you like look at it, it's like it won't even close properly all the way because it's just so old. It's been through it. It just means a lot to me. I think that palette has come with me to California twice. That's how long I've had this. This one was a journey to get because I had to wait on an online queue to get it, and it's the Too Faced Peach palette. I think even if I don't use the color scheme anymore or it's old and expired, I will never throw this away just because I've had this maybe 3 years now. 2 years might sound a little bit more accurate, but it still smells so strongly of peach. And I don't know what it is about peaches, but it just triggers something in my memory. Like, peaches are just very nostalgic. I don't think I've ever used this enough to justify buying it, to justify waiting in a whole ass queue, online queue for it, but the smell is nice, so it's just at least some aspect of it is being appreciated. But yes, Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I'm pretty sure this is the first eyeshadow palette I had, and if it's not, it's definitely the first that I started using religiously as my makeup, and it's my Naked 2 palette. This is like, we'll say this is my firstborn because the next palette I'm going to talk about, or not the next, but the one I'm going to talk about later, it doesn't have the memory with me the way this one does. This is my firstborn child. We've been through it together. In like the 100 Baby Challenge from BuzzFeed, this is my olive, where it's like you have so many palettes now, but this will always be the first and have a special place in my heart. It feels dumb to say I use this one so much because it's like, duh, this was like my first one ever, so I didn't really have money to be buying all these eyeshadow palettes. I still don't know where I'm getting all this money to buy all these eyeshadow palettes. But okay, I started to learn how to do makeup on this palette, and I love this palette. This has just been with me from the beginning. We started this makeup journey together. We went on ended together because she's just been kind of neglected. This is like a good comparison to the Villains palette where it's a lot of shimmers and not so much mattes. However, when I started doing makeup, that never mattered to me. I wanted the variety of shimmers because all I would do is just take this shade Tease in my crease, brow bone color Foxy, smoke out with this blackout color, and then just I loved having the option of choosing which shimmer shades I wanted because that was what I like cared about. It's like, you know, all I did was just do one crease color, maybe smoked it out, and then I wanted to have variety in like what I chose. But clearly, my god, I chose this whitey K color the most. I think that's because my friend who taught me how to do makeup, she did it with this and I just really liked it. I'm never getting rid of this palette. It could expire. I could never use it. Oh yeah, and they kind of fall out of place a little. It's a little bit scary. I should check on them. Okay, they're good. But I could just never use this palette again, which is kind of the road it's been going down, and I should give it some love again. But I could never use it again. It could expire. I don't care. I'm never getting rid of this. This is just like, I'm a very sentimental person. And this is one of the palettes I have a super strong sentimental bond to. It's like one of my first palettes. It like just means, that's dumb to say it means a lot to me. It doesn't mean a lot to me, but it's just like, it's just sentimental. And it was my first palette, and I like, after how far I've come, you can't forget your roots. So this is staying with me forever till I die. Next is my Anastasia Prism palette. I still really like this palette. I don't use this palette the way I thought I would, but I still think it's an interesting color story because it's just, I don't know, it's very unique. It has like these like pinky matte colors, which I really like. This sphere shade, I don't ever use this, but I just really like, it was such a pop of color that stood out to me. And then like these shimmers are just really pretty. Like I think it's just a really unique color story, so that's what like made me like want to buy it versus buying like another matte palette. I don't use it. I have the intent to like use this more than I do. I still genuinely stand by why I bought it. I just haven't proven myself or given myself any reason as to why I bought it for good reason. So I don't know. So next is my Sultry palette. Same thing as my Tarte Toasted palette. I bought it because it was on sale at Ulta. And Nicole Renee on YouTube really likes this palette, which is a weird justification for me to buy it because we have very different makeup styles. I haven't gotten the chance to actually use this yet because, same excuse you're going to hear a lot through this video, I got very distracted by newer palettes, so I actually truly think I have not touched this palette once. And that may be proved by the brand new brush in this palette. I don't know, but she just really hypes up this palette. But she also hypes up Soft Glam, which is what I think I like meant to buy. Don't ask me how I mix up Soft Glam and Sultry, but I just did. I still intend to buy Soft Glam even though I haven't really touched this yet, but I mean this is also nice. That sounded so not convincing, but it is nice. I think I'll just give this a try one day. I should. I bought it. Why wouldn't I give it a try? But I think I just need to give it some time and love, like everything else here. Now, this is the palette where I think this might be my first palette, but I don't remember. It's the Nude palette from The Balm. It's the original one. I know I bought this off of someone's like Instagram closet because that was a really big thing in high school. But I bought it because Nee from BBXO would always use this palette. And so when I saw someone selling it for cheaper on an Instagram from someone I went to high school with, I like jumped on it. But I like really haven't used it. I think I could try to declutter this maybe one day if I wanted to. It's fine. I don't know, but like yeah, it was just that a YouTuber who I like religiously watch, and she would just always use this palette. The way she used the pinks just were like so amazing to me, but then when I got them in real life, they were not that good. I think it's because she might have been using like a base to like make the colors pop, but like they just weren't as good as like she made them out to be, so I kind of just like fell off. And then I had my Naked 2 palette, and then yeah, things just happened, but that's that. Next is my Norvina palette. I bought this when I signed up for an Ulta credit card because then it was 20% off. I really wanted it for a long time, but I could never get myself to just buy it. Anastasia palettes are very expensive. Like, that's why I bought Sultry on sale, because they're very pricey. But I wanted this for a long time. I haven't quite used this the way I wanted to, because it's like, you know, you look at the packaging and you see like this pop of purple and these like purple shimmers, and it's like, oh my god, purple palette. But then you like stop and like really look at it, and it's not that purpley. It's like a pop of purple. My P sounds are getting really twisted. It's not as purple as I wanted it to be. Not that Desert Dust is that much more purple, but still, like, it's just a lot of like the mattes especially are just really warm, and there's only one purple matte, which I don't love. There's a girl I recently discovered. Her name is Julia. I'm not gonna try to pronounce her last name because I don't know. And she talks about how she doesn't like this palette because she feels like this purple shade doesn't look great on her yellow undertone. And I don't know if I agree with that completely, but I don't disagree with it either, because I will say it just doesn't come off the way that I kind of wanted it to when you like see it in person. So maybe she's alright, but I just need to play around with it more to see if that's how I actually feel. But that might be the case of what I feel about it. Next is my Naked Urban Decay Smoky palette. I think this is like the second palette I bought at full price because the packaging was just really pretty and like it was Naked, and Naked was so hyped up, and Naked was like everything back then, so I just bought it without actually even trying it. I actually don't use this that much, but I did use this for my friend's prom to do a smoky eye, and it looked super good. Well, I think I could do better now, but at that time it was pretty good. I usually have this in my client kit. I've sprayed it down with alcohol, it's fine, it's sanitary, but usually I have this in my client kit to like do smoky eyes like that. However, for some reason it's resurfaced back in my collection. How it did that, I don't know, but here it is, and here we are talking about it. Did I mention like Kathleen Lights? Yes, I love Kathleen Lights, so I got her collaboration palette with Morphe. I think this is like regular Morphe colors that Kathleen just chose, like that were her favorite. I actually did a whole video on this full face using just this palette. It actually turned out not that bad, especially since the contour shades are questionable for my skin. But yeah, it actually turned out pretty good. I do like this palette. It's really nice because it has the neutrals, the pinks. This green's a little random to me, but you know, whatever. It's like these palettes nowadays that are all neutral and have pops of blues. I do like this. I think I need to start giving this palette some more attention and love because it was really nice. Like, I like the color scheme. It's like really easy for me to work with. My god, I can't breathe. I'm talking so much. I don't know if anyone's gonna understand me. So around the time that I had decided that I was done with school after my first year of college, I had bought this palette, and it was a very rough second semester. I did not have a good time. This is so dumb to say that this started a new chapter, but it was just like, I remember coming home and I would have to like stay home from like the dorms that I was staying at, and it was just kind of like, it was just a bummer, like, I don't know, an ending of a chapter. But then like I came home to this palette and it was just nice, and I don't want to say it started a new chapter because that's a freaking lie, but I remember just using this palette all that summer, and that was one of the best summers I've had in my life. Yeah, it was one of the best summers I had in my life, and I remember I would just always use that, and this was a preface to how much I just love purple eyeshadows. Maybe this is what fueled it. I haven't touched it in a while, don't know if I will because it's Kat Von D. So yeah. We don't really support her around here anymore, so we don't know if I'll be touching that again. I think this was just the start of me being really in love with like purple palettes and duochromes and all those things, but I just don't really use it anymore. I will consider decluttering it, but I think because I got it at such a weird timing, I don't want to say it's sentimental, but it's a little, it has a certain place in my heart, I guess, even though it's Kat Von D, but I don't think this is an easy palette to get rid of, so it's probably going to stay with me a little while longer. Another sale palette, because that's the only way I justify buying eyeshadow palettes anymore, but it is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This was just a really hyped palette. It was on sale at Sephora for about half off, I think, so I was like, you know what, now's the time, I'm gonna buy it. I have not used it once. I think I may have used a couple of shades to just use a couple of shades, but I have not used it in its entirety. Again, same reason as Sultry, same reason as Norvina. It just got kind of like lost in the shuffle of new things coming out that I was getting. I haven't even gotten the chance to like make an opinion on it, whether I like it or not, but it's nice. There's a lot of colors. This mirror is really big and really nice, but that's all I can say about it. Next, I got at Fukubukuro from Sephora. It is this Tartus Pro palette, and it was really nice because I was very scared of Fukubukuro because I was like, oh shit, I hope I don't get something I don't like. And even more so with all this makeup I have, I hope I don't get something I already have. And thank God I got this palette, and thank God it's a palette that I've always kind of wanted, but I've just never like bit the bullet to buy. So I was like, oh cool, it's nice that I got this. Ask me how many times I've used this. Take a guess. None? Yeah, none. I did an avant-garde look with this, but I basically used this white to like set my face. It's a super white, so that worked out really well for me. Other than that, I haven't really used it. Will I use it in the future? Yeah. Will I? Maybe. I don't know. The same way I intend to use all these other colors, but as I've been saying, we'll just see what happens. But I'm so glad I got in Fukubukuro. It's not like it was free, but it was kind of cheaper because I got other stuff with it, I guess. Okay, next is this Sephora Pro palette, the editorial one. I like that it's a holographic blue. I think that's cool because I like blue and hollow. It was basically supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona palettes. It's a rainbow palette. I was kind of using it for a while, but I kind of fell off using it. There's no reason to. There's still a lot of things I could do with it. I haven't really given it a chance to like do so. I think if I made myself commit to doing a look to this, I could very easily do it because there's so many rainbow colors in here, and there's all duochrome colors, which obviously I also love. But I mean, this is a good palette. I do really like it. They have so many varieties, and it's cheap. I mean, it's still expensive, but it's cheaper than Natasha Denona. I don't know why I bought this. I'm like looking at it. I don't know what prompted me to get this because this was before my rainbow kick. But this is the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. I want to say I got this because I had a Macy's gift card and this was on sale. That's gotta be the reason. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's basically just another rainbow palette. Would be good. I I caught it. It's okay. Anyways, this usually would be good for doing like rainbow looks. However, I feel like every time there's a shade in here that like speaks to me or inspires me, it's a shimmer versus a matte, which a lot of times I'm looking for mattes, which is why I think I keep buying rainbow palettes, because I'm just on the hunt for like rainbow matte colors, which a lot of people don't have. It's just like all shimmers. Like I think 60% of this palette is shimmers, honestly. Guess, like, again, how many times have I used this? Well, I used it, just not as much as I should or could be using it. Oh no, I just realized I have palettes over there too. Oh no, I'll have to stand up later. Oh, I thought we're almost done. I have this. I think I'm going to declutter this because I don't use it. I bought this when I went to California and it was my first time in the Morphe store. I'm looking at this now and I'm disgusted with how many shimmers there are in this palette. This row is the only row of mattes versus 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of shimmer. That's a lot. I don't know if I'll use that. I do know what made me want to buy this. This was still during the time where it was, I want one matte shade and a million shimmers, but I don't even use this, so maybe I'm probably going to declutter this or something. First time at a Morphe store, but it's just, it's so unreasonable. The matte to shimmer ratio that I don't think I'll use it, and even though this is semi-sentimental, it's not sentimental enough to make me want to keep it, so I'll probably get rid of that soon. Next is my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. Also top 5. Like, I really love this palette. I don't care what controversies Jaclyn Hill has gotten into. It's really good. This is one of her few hits. That's kind of mean to say, but you know, with all the L's she's taken, this is one of a really good palette. I always suggest this palette to people who are unsure. If you're like new to makeup and you want a good palette, I think this has it all. All the neutrals that you need to work with, it has these pops of colors, because you know, if you're new to makeup, you're not necessarily using a lot of colors, so it's good to just have a few. I love this palette. I think I had intended to take this with me to London as well, but I couldn't find it at the time. Thank God it resurfaced, but this is like one of my favorites. I really love this palette. I think it's one of the best. Definitely my top 5 favorites. Going into my next one, I have this Jeffree Star Alien palette. I know like he has a lot of like popular palettes. The Blood Sugar and like the Blue Blood palette. The Blood Sugar, like I'm sure it's a great palette, but I just kind of, it's not like my style, and like his like rectangular palette's not my style either, and like I said, I don't need Blue Blood because I have like these other palettes. But like this one, it just looks cool. First of all, it's very soft, and like these like eyes are kind of cool. And the only oh shit, did I just break this? Oh well, that's fun. I just peeled off the cardboard a little bit. I'm glad we could experience that together. Anyways, like I was trying to say, I like this palette because it's kind of just like the most unique color scheme compared to other palettes. Like, it's kind of like a neutral green thing going on, but I just really like it. I think it's unique. I definitely don't have something like this in my collection, so it was like a palette I really wanted. But like, again, great old Jasmine got this for me, so love her for that. And I know he's also kind of a controversial person to get palettes from, but in my defense, I didn't buy this. Might I buy something from him in the future? Who knows? I was really tempted to get the Jawbreaker, but instead of getting that, I just made a really fat Colourpop order. So these are more of my like display palettes, and I say that because they don't fit nicely into these little containers I have. So the first one to talk about is the Sephora and Minnie Mouse palette. I'm pretty sure I bought this when it went on sale, but it's like this rainbow palette. At the time of me buying this, I don't think I bought it because it was rainbow. I think I bought it because it was Minnie Mouse. I think I bought the brush set at full price, but I like talked myself out of buying this palette. But as soon as I saw it on sale, I snapped it right up. I've never really used it. I think before I started like investing my money into like rainbow palettes and colored palettes, I did dabble in some of these, but I've never really like made time to just like get into this one. I think my bulkier palettes, they like, I don't reach for them as much just because it's like not a convenient thing to grab, which is not a good reason, which I should, because these are very pretty colors. I just haven't used them. I also like that this is just a nice case, so that if I ever want to take out the makeup, which is definitely an option, you can just use it as like storage or something. But we are not there yet. I don't know if we'll ever get there. Next is this Tarte Pineapple palette. I really wanted this. This was before I got my Tarte Pro palette. I saw this and I just had to have it because first of all, look at how stinking cute this little pineapple thing is. It's freaking adorable. So I've always wanted the Tarte Pro palette, and I always knew it was a great formula, and I assumed that like all these palettes are great formulas. They're just really boring, and that's why no one's really into them. But I figured I could get this in place of getting the actual Tarte Pro palette, which is funny because I ended up getting it anyways. And then on this side, there's like bronzers and blushes and highlighters, which I don't really touch that much. I don't love that this is a pinky highlight because, like, don't get me wrong, I love pinky highlights. But like highlights, I've kind of come to the point where I kind of stopped buying them. I know they can look different depending on how the light hits you and everything, but that's the thing. It just depends on how the light hits you. I feel like for the most part, highlighters look pretty similar. You can't really tell the difference, so I kind of stopped buying it because I felt like I had more than enough. So I already have a pink highlight that I love, so I don't really need another pink highlight. It's just kind of unnecessary. I know their blushes are really good. Well, at least the Amazonian Clay ones are really good, but I haven't really been using blush a lot lately, which I should be. But I just haven't, so I haven't really touched that. And I just have my own bronzers that I use, so I don't use that either. But I still think it's like a really great palette to have like all these eyeshadows, your face powders as well. And this kit also came with a mascara and the Sex Kitten eyeliner, which I've always wanted to try. Plot twist, it sucks. I don't like it. But I still like this little pineapple. Like I said, I don't really touch my bulky palettes as much just because they're just kind of big, so I haven't really gotten to use it a lot. This actually does have really nice purple tones in that, which I do appreciate a lot. Next is another palette I bought from Ulta when I got my credit card for 20% off, and it is the Wizardry and Witchcraft palette. You have no idea how many times I got sent this. Oh my god, Sydney, have you seen this? Oh my god, it's Harry Potter. Yes, I know, I've seen it a million times. Thank you for letting me know. And like, ever since I saw it, I've wanted it, but it's so expensive for, well, I guess for like a high-end makeup product that kind of is a reasonable-ish price, I guess. But it was just, I couldn't bite the bullet. Nothing could like make me do it, but then they came to Ulta and then I signed up for my credit card. I was like, you know what, now's the time, I'm just gonna get it. I've not used it once. I just think it's just kind of hard to work with this, which is like not good for me to say because like I bought it, so I should find use out of it, but it's, I don't know. It's a book. It's a Harry Potter book. I don't know. I'm sure I'll find use for it. I've always said that when I wanted to finish out my Harry Potter's makeup series, I wanted to use this, especially this blue color. I wish there was more blue colors for me to use, but what are you gonna do? Okay, next I have my big fat James Charles palette. Not that it matters because, you know, it just doesn't matter, but I didn't buy this palette. I got this palette and I asked someone to buy it for me before all the drama and nonsense came out with him. But this rainbow palette is like for every avant-garde look. This is like all I need. I know you have to be very particular in the way you use this palette, but recently the way I've been doing my eye looks, I like do it in the way that's recommended for you to do it. I think my only slight issue with this palette is that he's saying that you like need an eye primer to make this work. I don't really have an eye primer anymore. I've been meaning to buy a new one. I've just been using concealers only recently, but it still like works fine enough. Like, you know, if you just pack on the pigment enough, it's fine. It's not that bad. I just like the fact that there's so much variety and rainbow in here. I say after I've talked about the millions of other color eyeshadows I have, but like these are like bright and pigmented. And I feel like for every like shimmer shade there is in here, there's a matte to complement it. It's a majority matte palette, I think, is what my appeal to this is. So that if I need to do a rainbow look, I'm not super limited in what I can use because there's like a lot of mattes available as well as shimmers. I don't know, it's a good palette to have if I need color. I can't knock it. The kid did good, but I did not spend my money on this. I really just didn't want to support him. Sorry. Yeah, that was basically all of my eyeshadow palettes. I clearly have a problem, but honestly, eyeshadows are my favorite part of makeup, so that's why there's so much of them. Also, if you haven't subscribed, then like please subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate it a lot if you enjoyed these kinds of videos. I don't know what these kinds of videos means because my channel's a mess and I haven't uploaded in forever, but I would still appreciate having you around here if you like this video. And yeah, I guess I will just see you guys in my next one. Bye!